all these allegations that everybody's saying right now is very dangerous because it's almost like we want to see I just wanted to see a rap battle, which I enjoy. I don't want to see nobody go to jail.
You Me Tooing each other over a rap feud. That's corny. If you're going to call somebody a pedophile, if you're going to call somebody a woman beater, you got to have some real proof because those are some heavy accusations.
From its earliest days, hip-hop has been a culture rooted in competition. Whether through breakdancing battles, graffiti tags vying for prominence, or MCs trading bars in a cipher, the art form has thrived on a spirit of rivalry. However, when we talk about beef in hip-hop, we're referring to something deeper than friendly competition. Beef represents conflict, personal, professional, or both, played out on a public stage. Over the decades, beefing has become a defining aspect of hip-hop, shaping careers, fueling feuds, and even leading to violence. To understand its origins and evolution, we must delve into hip-hop's history and the broader cultural forces that shaped it.
Right now, all around us, and so compelling you never miss the fact there's no melody, is a music that is all beat, strong beat, and talk. It's rap music, and it sounds like this.
Hip-hop was born in the Bronx in the 1970s, a response to the social and economic challenges faced by marginalized communities. In this context, competition became a way to channel frustration into creativity. DJs like Kool Herc and Grandmaster Flash would host block parties where MCs hyped up the crowd and boasted about their skills. These early battles were about proving who had the best flow, rhymes, and ability to rock the mic. At the heart of these battles was respect. Winning a battle meant earning your place in the community and solidifying your reputation. While the competition was fierce, it was largely seen as a form of artistic expression, with participants adhering to an unspoken code of conduct. However, as hip-hop grew and the stakes got higher, the nature of these rivalries began to shift. The transition from live battles to recorded music brought a new dynamic to hip-hop rivalries. In the late 1970s and early 1980s, crews like the Cold Crush Brothers and the Fantastic Five traded lyrical jabs on wax, marking some of the first recorded instances of hip-hop beef. These early diss tracks were often playful, rooted in the same competitive spirit that defined live battles. But as hip-hop entered the mainstream, the tone of these rivalries began to change. The success of acts like Run DMC and LL Cool J in the 1980s demonstrated the commercial potential of hip-hop, creating a high-stakes environment where competition extended beyond artistic skill to include record sales, endorsements, and cultural influence. Diss tracks became sharper and more personal as artists fought to assert their dominance in an increasingly crowded field. The late 1980s and early 1990s, often referred to as hip-hop's golden era, saw the rise of some of the most iconic beefs in the genre's history. One of the earliest and most famous was the rivalry between Kool Moe Dee and LL Cool J. Kool Moe Dee, a veteran MC, accused LL of biting his style and disrespecting the pioneers of hip-hop. The feud played out through diss tracks like Kool Moe Dee's How You Like Me Now and LL's Jack the Ripper, captivating fans and setting a precedent for how beefs could elevate an artist's profile. Another landmark feud of this era was the battle between Boogie Down Productions, BDP, and the Juice Crew. Sparked by a dispute over the birthplace of hip-hop, the feud led to classic diss tracks like BDP's The Bridge Is Over and the Juice Crew's Kill That Noise. These songs not only showcased the lyrical prowess of both crews, but also highlighted the regional pride that often fueled hip-hop rivalries. The most infamous era of hip-hop beefing came in the mid-1990s with the East Coast versus West Coast rivalry. This feud, epitomized by the conflict between Tupac Shakur and the notorious B.I.G., was more than just a personal dispute. It represented a cultural and geographic divide within hip-hop. The rivalry began with subtle jabs and escalated into a full-blown war, with Tupac's Hit 'Em Up and Biggie's Who Shot Ya serving as fiery declarations of animosity. Media outlets and record labels amplified the conflict, framing it as a battle for the soul of hip-hop. Tragically, the feud culminated in the murders of both Tupac and Biggie, highlighting the deadly consequences of unchecked rivalries. Hip-hop beefs were not exclusively between male rappers either. In the 90s, Lil Kim and Foxy Brown were involved in a beef, and before that, rapper Roxanne Shante pretty much took on every female rapper in the game. In fact, some hip-hop historians believe Roxanne Shante gave birth to beefing in hip-hop. In the 2000s and beyond, the nature of hip-hop beefs shifted once again, influenced by the rise of social media and changes in the music industry. Platforms like Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube provided artists with new ways to engage in public feuds, often in real time. These platforms also gave fans a front-row seat to the drama, blurring the line between entertainment and reality. One of the most notable beefs of the modern era was the rivalry between 50 Cent and Ja Rule. Their feud, which began in the early 2000s, involved diss tracks, interviews, and even physical altercations. 50 Cent's relentless attacks, including songs like Back Down, significantly damaged Ja Rule's career, illustrating the power of a well-executed beef to shape public perception. More recently, feuds like Drake vs. Meek Mill and Nicki Minaj vs. Cardi B have demonstrated how beefs can dominate headlines and drive streaming numbers. Diss tracks like Drake's Back to Back and social media exchanges between rivals have kept the tradition of beef alive, even as the stakes have shifted in the streaming era. Other iconic hip-hop beefs include Jay-Z vs. Nas, Ice Cube vs. NWA, Eazy-E vs. Dr. Dre, Gucci Mane vs. Young Jeezy, 50 Cent vs. The Game, and Nicki Minaj and Cardi B. And then, there is the most epic beef of our time. The beef between modern-day hip-hop heavyweights, Kendrick Lamar and Drake. The rivalry between Drake and Kendrick Lamar has evolved into one of hip-hop's most compelling narratives. Their relationship, once marked by mutual respect, has transformed into a public feud that has captivated fans and the music industry alike. In 2011, Drake featured Kendrick on the track Buried Alive Interlude from his album Take Care. This collaboration hinted at a promising alliance between the two artists. However, in 2013, Kendrick's provocative verse on Big Sean's Control named Drake among other rappers he aimed to surpass, introducing a competitive edge to their dynamic. Kendrick later described this as friendly competition, but it planted the seeds for future discord. The simmering tension escalated in October 2023 when Drake and J. Cole released First Person Shooter, wherein Cole referred to himself, Drake, and Kendrick as the Big Three of modern hip-hop. Kendrick responded in March 2024 with the track Like That, dismissing the Big Three notion and asserting his dominance, saying there is no Big Three, there is just him. This bold declaration intensified the rivalry, prompting a series of diss tracks between the artists. The feud reached new heights with Kendrick's release of Not Like Us, a track that included severe allegations against Drake. Drake countered with his own diss tracks, leading to a heated exchange that extended beyond music. In November 2024, Drake filed a lawsuit against their shared record label, Universal Music Group, accusing them of failing to prevent the release of Not Like Us and alleging defamation. This legal battle underscored that rap beefs have come a long way from friendly competition to feuds that can end one's career and destroy reputation. In February 2025, Kendrick's performance at the Super Bowl halftime show featured Not Like Us, reigniting public interest in the feud. While beefing has undoubtedly contributed to some of hip-hop's most memorable moments, it has also come with significant consequences. On one hand, rivalries can push artists to elevate their craft, resulting in iconic music. On the other hand, they can perpetuate negativity, escalate into violence, and overshadow the artistry at the heart of the culture. The origins of beefing in hip-hop are deeply intertwined with the culture's competitive spirit. From the early days of battle rap in the Bronx to the global stage of the modern music industry, rivalries have played a central role in shaping the genre. As hip-hop continues to evolve, the culture's ability to navigate conflict will remain a defining challenge. By understanding the history and dynamics of beefing, we can appreciate its contributions while working to ensure that the spirit of hip-hop, creativity, unity, and resilience remains at the forefront.